Hi, my name is Mallory Thorpe. I'm an astronomy student at the University of Washington, and one female scientist who really inspires me is Henrietta Swan Leavitt. She was one of Edward Pickering's computers. They were a group of female scientists who worked at the Harvard Observatory, cataloging photographic plates of stars. What Leavitt was famous for was Cepheid variables. She discovered 2,400 variable stars in her lifetime. That's half of what was known when she was alive. Now, variable stars, they change in apparent brightness, so they seem to get dimmer and then brighter in the sky. And what Leavitt realized was there was a direct relationship between the period of this change and the actual brightness of the star, because, as you know, a star that's millions of light years away is going to appear far dimmer than, say, the sun, which is very, very close. So, with this discovery, Leavitt realized we could then know the apparent and absolute magnitude of the star, and thus we could know the distance to that star. Now, before this, we'd had to use parallax, which is this effect you see if you were to, put your finger in front of your face, and if you move your head, it changes where the finger is in respect to what's in front of you. For instance, me and my phone. Now, we could only measure about 100 light years with this method. With Leavitt's new method, we can measure 10 million light years away. That's an incredibly large distance. We could reach outside of our galaxy. Before then, it was revolutionary to think that there were objects outside our galaxy at all. With this discovery, Edwin Hubble was able to realize that the universe was expanding. And though I know astronomers are obscure and not really household names, I'm sure more know of Hubble than of Leavitt. But beyond these great discoveries, what really inspires me about Leavitt is her perseverance and her willingness to work through tough situations. She was ill most of her life, and this greatly affected her research. She had to bring plates home to continue studying them, and she also lost her hearing in college. But she kept coming to work. She volunteered at the Harvard Observatory when she was 27 years old and didn't start receiving a paycheck until 7 years later. And even then, they only paid her 30 cents an hour. That was because computers, they weren't really respected. The only reason they were needed was because the university couldn't find male scientists willing to do the grudge work. That was how tedious the research they were doing was. Now, what really inspires me about Leavitt is I think about her every day I come to this building, because it's thanks to her that I get to be here. Women like Leavitt, they continue to do the work that was available to them, which is now just more available to me than there ever was to them. For instance, they don't get to work telescopes, whereas I've worked with a large telescope before to collect actual data. And they weren't able to conduct their own research. Even Leavitt, this great mind who discovered something so wonderful, wasn't allowed to pursue her own discovery because Pickering wanted her to work with facts and to collect more data instead of to theorize. Whereas I've already gone to work on an undergraduate paper, and I'm only 20 years old. It's unfair, but I just feel so grateful for that. So I get to come to this wonderful building, and I get to sit with my male peers and take legitimate physics classes, and I get these wonderful opportunities laid at my feet, and I'm encouraged to take them. And all I can think is how Leavitt deserved those so much and was much more qualified than I think I can ever be to take them. I think about her every time I step into this building, because even though there are obstacles set ahead of me and I know I have to face them, I know it's thanks to Leavitt that I even get to go in, and I am eternally grateful for that.